Welcome back. Now let us continue by looking at our first concept, which is mean. Now, when we talk of mean, it's whereby now we talk of the average of a data set. Now, how do we calculate the mean? We simply say, or we take the sum of all values in a data set. When we talk of a sum, it's whereby you'll be adding all the values, dividing by the total number of values in a data set. That's when now we talk of a mean, or it can be said to be an average on a data set. Now, given the first example, we are given the salaries of 5 employees in a particular company below. So these are the salaries given to us. Number A, it says here, calculate the mean of the given salaries. Now we have said when we calculate the mean, firstly, we need to know the formula or the procedure of how to calculate the mean. We have said it is the sum, and when we talk of the word sum, it's whereby now we are adding. So we have 4,700 plus 3,500 plus 2,700 plus 3,000, and the last employee earns 4,800, and all this should be divided by 5. We are following the procedure or the formula to calculate mean. Now, we are going to add all these salaries to have the sum, firstly. Now, when you work that out, adding all these 5 salaries, we are getting a total amount of 18,700. Divide by 5, because we have started by working out your sum. Now, 18,700 divided by 5 will give you, with your calculations, it will give you 3,740. So this is the mean or the average salary for these 5 employees. Now, let us go to the second example on mean. Given the data set below, we have 60, 61, a value of A, 65, 66, and so forth. Now, the mean of the above data set is 65. In this case, we are given the mean that it is 65. So, calculate the missing value of A. Now, we know the formula. It says mean is equal to the sum of all values divided by the total number of values. So, it's total values. So here is the sum of all values added together. Now, we already know the formula. It's written there, or we have already written it. So now we are given the mean. Here is our mean. So I go to my formula or the procedure. I substitute under mean, because now I'm no longer calculating the mean, but I'm given the mean. Now, having that, it's equated to all the values. So I'm going to say 60 plus 61 plus A plus 65 plus 66 plus another 66, 67, 68, and 69. All these will be divided by the total number of these values. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So this will be divided by 9. Right, now I need to find the sum of all these values. Now, adding all these values, it will give me 522 plus A. I cannot add A with these values because A and all these numbers, they are not like terms, so we cannot add them together because they are not the same. So I'm going to divide this by 9, and then I bring down my 65. Now from here, we know that we are not allowed, or we do not want to work with fractions. So every time we start by eliminating fractions at all times. So now how do I eliminate this denominator 9? I'm going to multiply with this 9 on both sides. So I'm going to say multiply by 9, multiply by 9, so that it satisfies my rules of saying what you do on the right, you also do on the left, so that this denominator 9 will fall off and I'm left with 65 multiplied by 9. It gives me 585 equals to 522 plus A. This is what is left on my right hand side because 9 will fall off. Then I have 585. We say we transpose, meaning we take this 522, move it to the left hand side. So this side, this 522, it's positive. When it comes this side, it becomes negative. So that's why I'm saying minus 522. And on my right hand side, I'm left with an A. Therefore, I subtract 585 minus 522, right? So that gives us 63. So meaning 63 is our value of A. So now we need to go back to our data set and check if that 63 is within the value of 61 and 65. So now when we look at the data set, it appears here that the value of A will be 63, and when you check this data set, it's already arranged in ascending order. It means our 63 is within the values there. Right, now let's go to our next concept, which is median. Now, median is the most middle value in a data set. It means that when you have arranged your data equally left and right, the value that will be in the middle, it will be your median. And if two values are found in between, you add them together and you divide by 2 to find the position of the value in the data set. Now, median is influenced by the position, not the value in a data set. You will understand that when we start with calculations. Now, looking at number 1, given salaries of employees in a particular company below. So these are the salaries. So it's still the same questions as before. Now, firstly, when you deal with a median, the first thing that you must do, you need to arrange your data set in ascending order. So now let's start by arranging our data set. We have 2,700 followed by 3,000, thereafter 3,500, and then 4,800, and lastly 4,850. So we have 5 salaries and the given data also indicates 5. Now, how do we find our median? Firstly, you need to equate numbers or the values on the right as well as on the left hand side. So if you subtract this one, we must also cancel this one, also this one. So all the values that we have subtracted on the left are equals to those that we have equated out on the right. So your middle value is 3,500. So it simply means this is the position of what? Of our median. It's where it stands. Right, now, example number 2. Meals are sold at the school cafeteria and prices of each meal are shown below. So these are the prices. Determine the median of the meal. So firstly, we have said we must arrange in ascending order. So the first value there will be 27, followed by 30 rand, 35 rand, 40 rand, 48, and lastly we have a 50 rand. So now let us equate left and right. So we are going to have, we have equated this side, or we have cancelled 2 values. This side we have cancelled 2 values. So we can no longer continue to cancel out, because if we cancel them out, we will not be left with any value in between. So now we are going to take these 2 because they are the ones that are in between. So we are going to say 85 rand plus 40. Remember, we have said if you find two values in between, you add them together and divide by 2. So now in this case, 35 rand plus 40 divide by 2. It will give us the sum of these two. It's 75 rand divided by 2. When that is divided by 2, it gives you a total of 37 rand 50. So it will be 37.50 because now after a comma it gives you only one value, which is a 5. So if we are dealing with money, you simply add a 0 to make it complete to be 37 rand 50. Now let us take a quick ad break. We'll be right back.